Your company is being circled right now, whether you know it or not, to be bought. Have you ever felt that you were a little different? Me too. My father was an ex Catholic priest who had a PhD in theology, spoke multiple languages, and read a book a day. My mom was a hardworking, oldest of 9 with a master's in English and an ex Catholic nun. My brother went to the #1 high school in the world, Phillips Exeter Academy, and my sister went to Harvard. Then there was me, the dyslexic middle child, super confident with a chip on my shoulder, so I got into a lot of fights. I love sports and being on a team. It took a while, but I got my degree. I knew early on that my path would be unorthodox, and I needed to learn from the brilliance around me and to develop my own hard-hitting instincts. Now, after 25 years transforming Fortune 500 companies, I'm sharing how I became half monk and half hitman to help others to be balanced, high performers in business and in your life. Hello, John Hunter here, HunterX, here to talk about pink slips for companies. You ever heard that term or watch a movie where they're racing cars and someone says, hey, we're going to race for the pink? I think it was in Greece or Grease Lightning, if I remember correctly. And they end up putting their car up for collateral, basically. And whoever wins gets the company. That's the way I like to think about why technology, no matter what sector you're in tech, software, enterprise software, SaaS, B2B, B2C, it is such a competitive, innovative industry, right? Margins, growth, revenue, valuations. Are you guys tracking some of the valuations of these software companies? It's ridiculous. A lot of people like it's bonkers. It's funny money. It's maybe one of the most special, unique times in the history of the business world is right now. And I just think it's important if you're going to come into this industry in sales, marketing, product management, whatever, you want to understand that pink slip mentality, your company is being circled right now, whether you know it or not, to be bought. Doesn't matter how big it is, doesn't matter how small it is. It could be going into private equity. It could be folded into a strategic larger company. It could be simply to be an investment. But it's because of the innovation, the pace of change, and the amount of money that's at play, that in order to be in the technology industry, you need to understand it and you want to win the pink slip of the other car. You want to come out on top. You can come out on bottom and get bought, and that can be great too. But in the spirit of winning and competing, we want to buy the other company and fold them into your portfolio because your numbers are great. You have the advanced sales force, you have the better coverage model, you have more momentum. So while you may have a good competitor, there's a lot of reasons sometimes to fold them in and to make them part of the team. And that's where you come out on top. So with that pink slip, we're playing for pink slip of companies mentality comes as, we move with a sense of purpose and sometimes urgency, and we're just deliberate every single day. Doesn't mean you can be sloppy. It doesn't mean you can cut corners. And that's what makes this industry tricky. It requires this methodical, strategic, monk-like capability, but also just an outrageous sense of getting stuff done. And so maybe in another industry where you can have a meeting and wait a week to do the follow-up, in tech, you got to have the meeting and you got to be like, hey, let's do that follow-up meeting tomorrow. Let's do that meeting tonight. Let's get this thing that seems pretty important. Let's get it on the books and get it done. And let's follow up. Let's follow through. Let's push. Let's push ourselves as humanly fast as possible. But at the same time, have the empathy, self-awareness, and self-control to be thoughtful and strategic and marrying those two. It's very difficult. A lot of folks don't do it. It's also, you could argue, one of the reasons why we don't invest a lot in long-term strategic planning in a lot of software companies. We don't do a lot of LDP, leadership development programs, because in our mindset, we just can't see being in this place 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, because there's so much change in the industry. And it's a very dangerous thought process. And that's what actually, in my opinion, will drive bad behavior and drive an exit that's not the liking that you want, because we got caught up in, we're only going to be here for a year or two, or someone will buy us, or we'll have an event, or this will happen, or that will happen. I like to have the mentality is I'm going to work here until I'm dead, and I'm going to move at pace, which allows me to keep on for long-term investments, developing people, developing leaders, putting in programs and initiatives that may not pay off for 2 years. At the same time, I'm going to act with just an immediacy gene of getting stuff done that allows me to come out on top and actually be at that company for a long period of time. So, in recap, in case you didn't know, if you're in tech today, you're in software, you're in technology broader, you are in the most competitive industry on the planet. You should know that. And it's going to require a different level of commitment, a different level of pace, learning, movement, thinking. Your company is for sale all the time. I know sometimes that breaks our hearts. We think about it as a family, but it's not always a family. It's innovation. There's money at stake. There's bigger plays being made. And if we want to be in control of our own destiny, the best thing we can do is get the job done, follow through on our commitments as fast as humanly possible, but with thoughtful, long-term strategic thinking that goes along with it. That's what I got for you today. That's playing for pink slips of companies. That's the requirement of moving fast and have a sense of purpose and urgency, married with them thinking, strategic planning, empathy. Pretend in your mind you're going to be there forever, and act every day when you get stuff done as you know you're not entitled to anything. We have to work for everything. John Hunter, it's HunterX. Have a great day.